Right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hizzy Hustle. I am your host, Tyler Heisman. Good morning, happy Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is half the time. I just go with the flow, man. It's just the way it is, especially in this day and age with this market. Um, we didn't get a rate drop last time. A lot of kind of unexpected but yet expected pushes in the economic growth and GDP for the first quarter of the year kind of pushed Bank of Canada to not do a rate drop because of the growth due to everyone buying a bunch of stuff prior to all these tariffs coming in, that type of thing. Canada, the U.S. have still yet to come up with any type of trade agreement. Supposed to be next 30 days. Trump came into the G7 summit in Banff, pretty much took over for a day and then left. So nothing really there. He was talking about Canada's going to have to fork out $71 billion or something like that for this Golden Dome if we want to be a part of it. So yeah, a lot of stuff in the mix that doesn't necessarily help our economic future. However, how does that trickle into the housing market? Well, it's an interesting one because I'm seeing some opportunity come, and especially for those who were sitting on the fence or ready. Whoever is out there right now throwing out offers and just shopping around and literally just I'm telling everyone, like, if you're curious and you have a price in mind, throw the offer out. Let's see what happens. Because nowadays, with how much market there is, depending on the situation, if people need to move and people need to sell, then they will take the offers. It's just the way it is. And a lot of these people with high expectations, they're starting to see the result of being unwilling to move in this type of marketplace, and they're staying on the market for 120 150 days, and our average sale here is around 70. So it's definitely moving a little bit. Sellers need to be a little bit more aware. If you're just looking to sell because you want to see what price you can get, it's not going to be the market for you. And once your property goes cold within like the first 2 weeks and you're not doing any reductions, you're not going to gain any traction, and people will just simply disregard it. They're just like every other person will have already told you through the fact that it's still available, that it's priced too high. So that's just the way she is. Yeah, we got a little bit of a video here. Just wanted to take a look at. Korea came out with kind of just some expectations. We got
Home sales across Canada have seemingly stopped trending downward, but will it last? We're not sure.
Sean Cathcart. It's our guy. It's loud.
Welcome to the Canadian Housing Market Report. I'm your host, Dawn Faithful, and I have Sean Cathcart, Korea's senior economist, with me to provide us an update on all things Canadian real estate markets and what that means for you. Sean, in April, we saw sales numbers stop falling after quite a few month-over-month declines, and in May, we're sensing some positivity. Can you add some color there to what's going on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the big story in April was, after some really steep declines that started right around January 20th, oddly enough, in a year that was supposed to be a rebound, in April, at least they stopped falling. We said, okay, well, that's something. If you're looking for the start of a turnaround, that's where you're going to get first, probably. And then our daily tracking showed a lot of listings start to show up in early May, which is a little concerning because the buyers weren't quite back yet. But then in the second half of May, we saw them start to sell in higher numbers. So we're pretty sure it was going to be an increase, and it was. So May sales were up 3.6% from April, which is a decent gain. So you add that to the April story where things stopped falling, and then you can add even to that prices at the national level also stopped falling in May. So bit of good news for once.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with all that said, and prices starting to flatten out, are people feeling encouraged, or is there more to the story considering how diverse markets across Canada are?
Well, that's the thing, right? So sales are flat at the national level, but as you know, that's not necessarily true in a lot of around the country. It just sort of shakes out that way. So if you look across the country at what's actually going on, if you're in Quebec or you're on the East Coast, prices have been rising for the last 3 years. That's still going on. More affordable places have done better with high interest rates. Similarly on the prairies, prices are moving higher most places. Not Calgary, which is more expensive. They've sort of topped out over the last year. BC prices are falling, especially in the lower mainland, not as steeply as they were in Ontario, which was sort of the hardest hit market in the last number of months. But the big news in May was that a lot of markets in Ontario, prices stopped falling and even ticked up in some places. Definitely that greater Golden Horseshoe and a little bit in Southern Ontario as well. And that's what really moved the needle at the national level.
Right, that makes sense. So with so much other uncertainty still out there,
Right,
what are the odds that this is just a false start or a head fake, or do you expect it to continue?
So we have a little bit of a secret weapon in that we can see daily data all the way through May and into June. And it does look like it's still running at those same levels that it was in the second half of May. So I do expect at least one more month. And actually, since the May sales, higher sales numbers really only got kicked off in the second half, if June is a whole month of that, it might even move higher again. We predicted a rebound year. It was supposed to be a slam dunk forecast. And obviously the whole tariff uncertainty chaos thing sort of derailed that for a time. It does sort of feel to me, and maybe this is speculating, that some of that initial shock is fading. We've got a new federal government that's in the honeymoon phase still. We've got this national kumbaya moment that we're having. So it feels like some of that uncertainty is being replaced with a little bit more certainty and a little bit, let's get on with our lives. So I do think that some of that rebound that we were expecting may have just been moved from the first half of the year into the second. But it's still not, I don't think, going to be a blow the doors off year. There's still a lot of uncertainty out there. But I think we've turned a corner.
Well, thank you for helping ease our minds, even slightly. That's always appreciated. So if you only listen to one part of this video, make it this. Home sales across the country appear to have taken a breather for now and rose 3.6% in May compared to April. Prices have flattened at a national level, but when you zoom into local markets, trends continue to differ across the country. It is possible that early year predictions for market recovery could still be on the horizon, but we're not back to normal. The outlook is better than it has been. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more, as always, head to stats.korea.ca. That's all for now.
Okay, well, I mean, I see what they're saying, and numbers are one thing, but you also need to kind of maybe just take a step back and look at what's actually happening, right? Because there is a correction happening. Sources have kind of came out, not directly the Bank of Canada or anything, but some sources have said there's a bubble that's roughly a 20% correction from where the COVID market was, but it's not the Bank of Canada saying that. BMO economist says that there is a large amount of price deviation, but they haven't given an actual number. And the Bank of Canada definitely has warned about an abrupt correction. So I think what needs to be said more about how the market is stabilizing or getting stronger or whatever, I don't think that's necessarily the right way to go about it. I think we're starting to get to the bottom of the correction, and that is now allowing people to feel more confident about paying the prices that they have to pay for these products, because they know that we're getting lower into the bottom. And because we're so low, people can't afford to take any lower. So we can only really get so far, right? Sellers can only take such a hit, and buyers can only afford so much. So we're getting very, very close to that point now, I think, where the correction has taken effect, and we should see some hopefully more stagnant numbers when it comes to the decreases, and we can start to see some movement in the market. And once we see that buyer confidence and movement starting to happen, especially with this June activity, summertime's here, people are happy, visitors, vacationers, they all come down, they realize how amazing the Okanagan is, they want to go and see some houses. So there's a lot of stuff that happens in the summertime that really bumps up our market and whatnot. So I think first and foremost, we just need to be honest. We just need to be more honest with ourselves and with the consumers about where exactly we are in this blip, right? Like, Canada is effectively in a recession. Employment is up. Dollar is going down. We have been told by our government that our debt is going to go up. We're spending a lot of money over
Well,
the
our
next
next guest
few
says
years.
that-
Why are videos playing right now? So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll be keeping an eye out going on with this trade deal and stuff with Canada. So hopefully we can get some good stuff. But I'm now that the election's over, I'm really trying to focus more on housing related topics as they come up, and not so much just the political topics. Like I haven't decided if I wanted to make another YouTube channel so I can cover all the political stuff, because I do enjoy political content and whatnot. But yeah, as of right now, we're just trying to hone in on this housing stuff, and let's get some people in some places this summer. So enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll catch you on the next one.